Usage of Peppol is growing fast across Europe and beyond. But what exactly is Peppol? Why was it created? And what advantages does it offer? In this video, we'll answer all of these questions and more. Across all industries, organisations are always looking to make the exchange of business-critical information easier in an attempt to streamline their supply chains and reduce costs. One of the most popular methods of achieving this is through electronic data interchange, or EDI. This involves companies exchanging data with one another automatically in the form of structured electronic messages in order to minimise human input, and thus errors, and maximise speed and efficiency. However, while EDI connections can bring many benefits for the businesses involved, setting up different connections with multiple partners can be complicated and time-consuming. Service providers can streamline this process hugely, but even the best provider can't do anything about the fact that companies and industries differ greatly from one another when it comes to their preferred processes and requirements. For example, each industry has its own standards and protocols. When it comes to partners, each may have its own document formats. Each partner may use different exchange protocols. Each partner may also have different methods of setting up an EDI project. Plus, each partner has different ways of testing messages during an onboarding process. With so much heterogeneity, simply finding out what each partner's unique requirements are takes time and effort, let alone setting up their connection. Peppol represents an attempt to eliminate these issues and make establishing EDI connections with partners simpler and faster. With Peppol, the technical details needed to exchange messages with partners are available instantly. You only need to know the Peppol ID of the recipient. Document exchange formats are standardized, and all messages are automatically validated before they're sent to partners, ensuring no invalid data is exchanged. So what is Peppol? While Peppol is hugely useful for streamlining e-procurement processes, Peppol is not an e-procurement platform. Rather, Peppol provides the methodology and technical specifications, as well as an agreement framework to send documents between e-procurement partners. Ultimately, what Peppol provides can be boiled down to three factors, known as the three pillars of Peppol. These are the Peppol network, Peppol's document specifications, and Peppol's agreement framework. By looking at each of these briefly, we can see how Peppol works. Let's look first at Peppol's e-delivery network. Peppol's network is based on a four-corner model. To understand what this is, we must first consider what two- and three-corner models are. A two-corner model requires a direct connection between you and your partner. The downside of this approach is that every partner connection will require time-intensive custom mappings. A three-corner model is where both you and your partner exchange messages via the same service provider. The downside of this approach is that while using a service provider for EDI can be hugely beneficial, being forced to use the same service provider as your partner can quickly lead to a complicated EDI landscape, as many partners will have different providers. As a result, as with the two-corner model, multiple connections must still be maintained. By contrast, in Peppol's four-corner model, companies can use any certified Peppol access point to connect to all Peppol-enabled partners. The four corners in this model are you, your Peppol access point, the Peppol access point of your partner, and your partner themselves. When using Peppol's network, it doesn't matter if your partners use different providers, you still only need one connection to connect to everyone. Upon connection to a Peppol access point, that organisation's requirements for receiving automated messages, such as e-invoices, are published using a Service Metadata Publisher, or SMP. In order to allow for an automated lookup of the SMP details, these details are made accessible via a Service Metadata Locator, or SML. Essentially, the SMP and SML function as simple, fully automated self-service libraries, meaning access point service providers don't need to liaise with recipients or their service providers to get this information. This in turn increases the speed of partner connection. When it comes to the formatting of documents exchanged between Peppol access points, all messages must conform to Peppol Business Interoperability Specifications 3.0, known as Peppol BIS. The Peppol code list provides standards for over 100 message types. Peppol also allows custom document types within a country if these are officially acknowledged. This way, each access point only needs to be able to process these approved messages. Consequently, systems connected to the Peppol access point only need to convert from the BIS format to the in-house format and vice versa. Thus, once the mapping's set up, it's valid for all business partners. This is much simpler than building custom mappings for each partner connection. Finally, the existence of transport infrastructure agreements ensures that all parties conform to the necessary Peppol regulations. This protects the reliability of document exchange via Peppol. Peppol authorities, Peppol access point providers, and Peppol service metadata publisher providers must all sign these agreements. So what benefits does Peppol offer? As Peppol relies on documents being exchanged electronically, businesses using Peppol will naturally experience all the benefits associated with automated document exchange, from cost and time savings to reduced risk and increased competitive advantage. Compared to document exchange via traditional EDI channels, Peppol also offers faster connections, reduced partner connection costs, increased message reliability, and an all-round simpler process for everyone involved. Given these significant benefits, it's hardly surprising that Peppol's usage has grown steadily over the past decade. Today, Peppol is not only used across the vast majority of European countries, but further afield as well, with countries such as Australia, Canada, New Zealand, Singapore, the USA, and Japan all now placing their trust in Peppol. So what do you need to do to become Peppol compliant? Thankfully, gaining the ability to exchange messages via Peppol is pretty simple and involves two key steps. The first of these is setting up your internal processes. To be able to take advantage of Peppol, internal processes must be adjusted accordingly. For example, your ERP or accounting system must be set up to be able to process structured electronic invoices, which may require workflow add-ons or a converter service. The latter is able to convert from your ERP's format to the Peppol BIS format, and vice versa. The second and most crucial step is choosing a Peppol access point strategy. You can either become a Peppol access point yourself, or use the Peppol access point of a managed service provider in the cloud. Becoming an access point yourself involves setting up and running the entire messaging infrastructure in-house and going through the official certification process of Peppol. Due to the significant technical and operational requirements, most companies choose a fully managed Peppol solution. With a managed service provider for Peppol, standardized project execution for the connection of customers and suppliers will help to improve project execution time and lead to faster ROI. Once you've chosen your provider and a connection to them has been established, you'll be able to start taking advantage of Peppol and exchanging messages with Peppol-connected companies around the world. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out our website for more information on Peppol and how you can streamline your partner relationships.